Be here. I'd just like to share my experience with Palmetto State Armory firearms. This right here is a Palmetto State Armory PA-15 Multi, and my wife ordered that for me so we could have something for close quarters combat for our family, because kind of in a dire situation here, but I'm not going to get into that. This is just about these firearms that I purchased. This right here, this upper right here that I'm pointing to, is a 5.56 10.5-inch stainless steel barrel. I've only fired it twice. When I got the upper and the lower receiver, I put them together. They have a little bit of rock in them, but I'm not really concerned with that. I can put a wedge in there, and that fixes that problem. But my concern was that I took the bolt group apart, cleaned it out, put everything all back together. I put a 30-round magazine in it, pulled the charging handle back, let it go, and what happened was a one round fed halfway into the chamber, and another round went above the bolt and was stuck above the bolt. I literally had to take the bullet apart. I had to take the bullet out of the casing and then crush the casing with a pair of needle nose pliers so I could get it off of the top of the bolt. And I don't know if y'all can see how scratched up and marred up this is, the ejection port. But yeah, I ruined my receiver or the upper before I even shot the gun, because I was just trying to see if it would chamber around, and it didn't. But I took it to the range, and I slide the bolt back, lock it in place, and hit the bolt release and let it chamber around that way, and it ran flawlessly. I had no problems with it. It ran fine. Shoots perfect. At a 36-yard zero, it's I have nothing to say about it. It's performance, but other than it won't charge if you just release the charging handle. I don't know if it's not broken in, if something's wrong with the buffer spring in the tube. I don't know. But this, oh, let me get to the point of why I have another one sitting behind it, the one you see sitting behind it. My wife saw this 5.56 round, and her grandfather is a colonel in the Marine Corps. Her dad is in Vietnam, Army intelligence officer, and her mom taught boys how to fly helicopters during the Vietnam War. So she saw this 5.56 round and started laughing and said, "What the hell is that? A BB? What are you gonna do? Shoot BBs at people?" So I'm a 30 caliber man myself. All my rifles are 30 caliber bolt actions, and they all have 20-inch barrels or longer, and they'll all shoot a quarter out of the 10 ring at 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, whatever you prefer. All my rifles are deadly accurate. But these are Palmetto State Armory. I bought these because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about Palmetto State Armory and how economical their parts are and how good their parts are. But I seem to have encountered something different here. As I said, this 5.56 won't chamber around if you just slide the handle back and let it try to charge that way. The bolt, I don't know why the bolt won't pick up around and put it in. But this right here is a 7.62 by 3.9, 10.5-inch upper. I just took it to the range to fire it, and I've been hearing all this stuff about how Palmetto State has made these advances in their bolts, their Palmetto State Armory bolts, the KS47 PSA hybrid bolt. I thought it was chrome lined, but it's not chrome lined. I was misled in that aspect. But this is what happened to me. I went to the range. I bought two brand new 30-round C mags. I loaded one up with Wolf Classic magazine and another with American Eagle, and they're both 124 grain. And of course, you know that the Wolf American Class, or the Wolf Classic, whatever it's called, the Wolf Military Classic ammo. I'm sorry, guys, you have to forgive me. I had a stroke and now I have cancer. But anyways, the Wolf Military Classic fired one round, and as I saw on the videos on YouTube, the next round was a light primer strike. So I ejected it, squeezed off another round. The range officer is standing right next to me and says, "Hey, Billy, something's wrong with that." He said, "When your rounds are ejecting, they're just dropping out." And I'm like, "Really?" So I squeezed off another round. Weak primer strike. Chamber another round. It fires. The bolt comes back, ejects the round, and will not pick up another round. Bolt closes with no round in the chamber. And so I just went through the magazine, doing that about every third round, get a light strike, and or it won't feed. It's not a problem that it's not going up the ramps or anything. It's just not picking up a round out of the magazine. Why that is, I don't know. I've never encountered that before. But once again, the only other AR-15 that I owned was an Olympic Firearms AR-15. And I've shot probably 500,000 rounds through it before I had a stroke and sold it. And I never had a problem with it. But this is what just happened with the Palmetto State Armory 7.62 by 3.9 10.5-inch stainless steel upper that I got. Okay, as I explained to you, the Wolf ammunition would not fire. So I went through the magazine with the Wolf ammunition, and then I loaded American Eagle. So I put the 30-round tube magazine of American Eagle in there, and this is what happened. I fired off 3 rounds. Can y'all see that? Can you see the gas tube? The top of the rail, there's a huge gap. And look at the side of this. I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and maybe Codaboy32 or somebody can tell me why the heck this happened with a brand spanking new upper that has 36 rounds fired through it. I don't know what happened. It looks like the handrail is loose and just slid down. I have no idea how this works, if it's just the rail is loose and slid down or what, but you can definitely see where the barrel attaches to the upper receiver. You can see the gas tube right there and the big gap in between the receiver and the other part of the upper right there. So I guess I'm going to have to send this back to Palmetto State Armory and get my money back. I think it's really sad that they would send a product out like this to somebody. And another thing is, I think they sent this upper to me, and it was a used upper. If you look closely at it right there, there's a big chip in the paint all around the end of this around. You can see how it's all marred up and chipped up and stuff. And the cover here, the ejection cover, looks like it's used. I'll put the bolt back in and open it up so you can see it. I think they sent me a used upper or something, but look at that gap. Look at that. Could somebody please explain to me how this could happen, or why it happened, and how I get this back to Palmetto State Armory and get my money back for it? Thanks. God bless y'all, and have a great day. Billy B. out.